Hey guys, welcome back to the A Plus Home Show. I'm Nick with A Plus Building Maintenance, your Toledo Handyman. I'm here with my daughter Kendra. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Today we're once again talking about toilets, and well, now we're going to talk about replacing a fill valve. I just went to your normal hardware store and picked up just a universal hardware, universal fill valve here. Pretty simple instructions. They come with it. It's fairly inexpensive. Runs about $12, $15. Very, very easy. Now, what we have here, you may have seen these style before, and we got the old ball valve in there. It's got some of the old blue corrosion in there from all the different things people colored the toilet water with. And this one in particular is giving us a lot of problems. So what we're going to do is go ahead and change that out. Now, whenever I do a fill valve, I typically like to do a tank to bowl kit, which we'll talk about in another show. But I'd like to have the tank off the toilet whenever I'm doing a fill valve. It just makes it a lot easier, and I know I got a snug fit. So when you're going to replace this, you turn it over. There's just one nut here. Let me just unsnug that. Once you got it, it comes off usually pretty easy. Now you may run into some that I've seen some old metal ones that are brass on brass. Them come off really, really hard. This one's plastic, so it isn't that old. So we go ahead and pull the whole assembly out. This thing, they still sell the old ball type. I'm not a big fan of them. So this one's junk, so we're going to throw that off to the side. This is what we're going to replace it with. Basically, this is actually your ball now. It just slides up and down. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I check for my distance. Sometimes I'll take the old valve and put it up and make sure that these two line up here and here. And they're really close already. If they weren't, I would do a big adjustment by moving this up or down and get it as close as I could. And then there's a fine-tune adjustment here. But right now we're not fine-tuning it. We just got to get it as close to the old one as original. So that once we actually check it for water, we then test it here to make sure it ain't filling too high. To install, there's one rubber gasket that goes on this side. We'll go ahead and insert that into the tank. Make sure that it's clean. This one's already been wiped down. We're going to insert that in, making sure we're paying attention where our valve is. And maybe I can try to show you guys what I'm doing here. Basically, we're trying to pay attention that I don't turn it like this and the valve is going to hit. We got to make sure she's pretty straight. Something like that. Then, I'm not going to reuse the old nut. It does come with a new one. We'll make sure that we're seated in the hole well. And we'll just go ahead and tighten this up. Now, if you notice, this has actually tabs on it. You really don't want to have to use a pair of pliers on this. This stuff is plastic. It can break. It is, the gasket's extra thick. You have plenty of room. It'll tighten down real well. What I usually like to do is kind of wiggle it back and forth as I twist. And then that's set. So, when we're done, looks just like that. And I always like to make sure before I mount all this that we got free travel, which it does, on the stop valve. The last piece we have to install is the actual tube, the filler tube. On this particular unit, we have a place to put the tube. If you did not, it also comes with a clip like this to mount on your old hole. You can mount it, and then this rubber hose is going to mount here. On this one, we're going to just take the rubber hose, mount it inside the hole, and now these can be trimmed to fit, okay? But then, I'm trying to do this backwards, so bear with me. You mount it directly on the nub. Just like that. Now on this one, if you notice, I have extra slack. So if I want to, I can go ahead and trim it if I feel it's going to interfere, which we'll go ahead and do now because I think that's a little too long for me. That's just extra stuff that's just going to get in the way of possibly the lever. So I just kind of eyeball it, probably to about right there. Hey Kendra, why don't you hand me that knife for me? Right there. Thank you. And we'll just get a quick trim on that. Changing the fill valve, I think the hardest part is the anxiety of getting the actual tank out, and you know, it's an awkward position. That's why I think it's a lot easier for me to take the tank off the toilet. As you can see, once I trimmed it, it looks a lot cleaner. You want to see it? Does that look cool? Yeah.
I think you have to clean the inside.
It's probably going to need to be cleaned a little bit more, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So when you're doing this, changing out these the fill tanks are pretty simple to do. I guess the hardest thing is the actual getting around here. Usually this is mounted right up against the wall. You might have a cabinet right here. I think it's a lot easier to take the tank off because normally if this fill valve is going out, you also are going to have to replace the tank to bulkheads pretty soon too. But like I said, if you guys have more questions about this stuff, email me, nick@toledohandyman.com, or visit our website. toledohandyman.com is also the website. Very simple. You also can give us a call, 419-478-1542. I'm usually always available. All estimates are always free. We have a lot of cool tips. If you're in the middle of a project and you just need a couple questions answered, give us a call. We'll do our best to help you out. Kendra, do you have anything more to add today? What do you got to add?
What's this for?
Well, that's for a different type of plumbing. It's called CPVC, but we're not talking about that today.
Okay.
Why don't you just say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Hey guys, I'm Nick with A+ Building Maintenance, your Toledo Handyman. And until we see you next time, keep up the good work.